You there with the illness. If you can stand there.
Whenever I meet anyone new, I like to picture them naked.
Yes, you do.
Is that so wrong?
Then you live in Hastings. I wondered what the point of having children was. If I know there was a free drink involved,
I can become an alcoholic.
I'd have squeezed one out ages ago. Hello, and welcome to this week's So offering advice from myself and my good friend Maria McCurlin. It's Wanging On with Graham and Maria. Hello.
Nice to see you, Graham. How are you?
I'm very well. You're looking, Graham, may I say you're looking quite trim.
Trim.
Are you on the...
No, I am not on the pen, as it's called. People say... Is she on the pen?
This is...
Which is for Ozempic.
But are they all the same? Is Mounjaro, are they all the same?
Well, Mounjaro, Wegovy, I think there's another one. They're all the same GLP-1s, which is, some sort of blocker.
And is it like your diabetic pen? Do you just stick it in your thigh?
I have tried it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I put on a bit of weight when I was on steroids because of my bodybuilding, obviously.
Yes. Miss Universe won't lift her own crown.
No, I had a lung issue, so I had some steroids. And they're horrible and hateful, but they do make you chub up.
Oh.
So I was a bit vain about that. And so I thought, I'll get some Ozempic, which is very easy to get. It's awful to say.
You just buy it, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, once upon a time, you had to kind of tape bubble wrap around you and send a photograph off. But now they just go, oh, here's some.
Because it was made for diabetics. And I feel like diabetics now find it quite hard to get. Because...
No, they don't. I think that's one of those fallacies that people who are anti-Ozempic say.
The big knock-on effect of Ozempic is when you go to Denmark, home of Ozempic,
yeah,
it's lovely there because they actually tax companies in Denmark. So they've got all the Ozempic millions sloshing around. So the roads are all lovely, streetlights all working, everyone's happy, bike lanes are all gorgeous.
Why didn't Keir Starmer think of that?
Well, he needed to invent Ozempic first. And he was so busy running the country.
He could make Labour's Ozempic, a different thing that doesn't work. No, I tried it, Graham, and you do just have to, you have to get one jab, and I tried the lowest dose, obviously, ever, and into the tummy, not hurty at all. And it's meant to stop food noise. That's what they say. Oprah Winfrey always talks about food noise.
Hunger pangs.
Well, it's kind of like
cravings.
What's next? When people who really love food, they're going, that was a lovely breakfast. What am I having for lunch? It's like it's constant.
I sometimes wake up and wonder what I'm going to have for dinner.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, that never really occurs to me very much. But chocolate, on the other hand, so it didn't stop my chocolate noise.
Oh.
If anything, it made that worse.
Because you thought, I'll eat as much chocolate as I like.
But I felt very nauseous with it. Some people, some people it works for. Some
Is that
people
because you were eating a lot of chocolate?
Chocolate, yeah. It could have been. Why am I feeling so...
But it's so obvious. Yeah, I've been out for dinner with a few people now. And what's annoying is they order normal meals.
Why would you do that?
And then it arrives, and then they don't eat anything because they've had a starter. So now they're Ozempic full, I guess. I don't know. I haven't tried it, so I don't know what the feeling is. Whether they're full or whether they just have no interest in food. I don't know what it is. But they have a bit of starter and then, that is it. And their main course sits there untouched.
I mean, people have been doing that since way before Ozempic. Ask Joan Collins. I remember doing when the Lady Taverners did
but that's the willpower.
I know, but that's what I'm thinking. She had marvellous willpower because I was sitting next to her and the meal came and there were sort of like potatoes and broccoli and I remember saying to her, Joan, can I get some potatoes? Oh, yes, please. Mm-hmm. And can I get you some broccoli? Oh, yes, please. So I filled up her plate and I was thinking, she does eat. That's good. And then, of course, it just sat there untouched. She filled her plate, sat there untouched, the waiter came and just took it away.
Do we know someone who had lunch with Anna Wintour? Who was that? Someone had lunch and they said what was amazing because they think, we're not going to eat anything. And then Anna Wintour ordered, typically ordered fish and but then ordered fries. So our friend was like, oh yes, I'll have fries too. Lovely if Anna's having fries, I'll have fries. And it arrived. And not only the fries were the thing, she put the fries on the plate, put ketchup down.
Still left it.
Nothing. And that was obviously her pleasure. was, look how strong I am. They're on the plate with the ketchup, and still I will not eat them.
See, I hate this element of dieting about this kind of like good or bad.
Well, I'll never know.
I'm being. No,
I will never be that person.
I'm really never good either. But I did notice the other day that I think Marks and Spencer's, or it could be another supermarket, are doing kind of Ozempic meals. I don't think it says that. I think it says something like for the smaller appetite. So, still charging £7, but for a teeny tiny little kind of plate of dinner.
Well, that's for Ozempic for very old people. You know the way old people lose their appetite and they only want to eat small things.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Older people.
Yeah, thanks.
Even older people. No, because my mom would love that. She'd love to have tiny little portions.
Because they get overwhelmed by a big plate.
Yes, and I always feel like, well, just don't eat it all.
Yeah.
Like, eat as much as you want. But I think just seeing all the food puts them off, whereas it turns me on. I'm like, yes.
You're so easily pleased. But yes, most of my friends, or a lot of people I know, I would say, are on the pen, on the jabs.
Really?
Yeah.
And see, I just feel like it's going to come home to roost.
How so?
Well, in that if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So you feel like at some point in the future, somebody will go, oh, by the way, that does this to you, causes liver failure or something.
Yeah.
In the same way that, cigarettes were great. They were recommended by doctors.
I know.
Vaping was supposed to be the great answer to smoking.
I watched some sort of Pathé newsreel the other day where a doctor was going around hospital beds offering people a cigarette, and they would go, oh, thank you, like that. And then, oxygen masks. So times change.
Yeah, maternity wards used to get half a Guinness, didn't you?
Did you?
Yeah, to build up your iron.
Almost worth having a baby.
Yeah, I know. Now, I wondered what the point of having children was. If I know there was a free drink involved,
You can become an alcoholic.
I'd have squeezed one out ages ago.
So, how are you finding fighting the flab in our autumn years?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, you will lose that fight, I feel. Because the thing I notice is, even if people are past a certain point, if they go on the Ozempic, yes, they're a bit thinner, but so what? They don't look that good.
No.
They just look differently old. So I wouldn't worry about it.
I know, but do you still feel a certain vanity?
I still want to fit into my clothes.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I feel.
Yes, I haven't gone the kimono route yet.
It's looking very pleasing, though, isn't it?
I mean, it would be lovely to just pull the ripcord.
Yeah,
and
move into the moo years.
Yes, and just eat and drink whatever you like.
Demise Roussos.
Yeah, and just, throw my bike out with the bin on a Thursday morning, have it. But no, for now, you want to keep it. I think the thing about keeping weight off is that it means you can physically do things.
Yeah.
You can, run up and downstairs, you can get in and out of bed, you can do all that stuff, that's the stuff that keeps you young and alive.
Yeah.
It's not about, I don't think, for me now, there's probably a little bit of vanity because I'm on telly and you see photographs of yourself.
You're on telly?
And I hate seeing, stomach coming out over the top of trousers, but it's there.
No, it's not.
Oh, it is. I won't show it to you now.
Oh, I really wanted you to that.
Yeah, no.
Cameras won't notice.
They really won't. Hey, Maria, time to give people what they want, whether they know it or not. It's advice. Up next. Maria, I hear Wanging On is quite the social media presence.
That we do, Graham. On our Instagram page, @WangingOn, we post all manner of clips and dilemmas.
But what about Facebook?
We're there too, Graham. Give us a follow.
But Maria, if I'm down with a youth and I'm on TikTok?
We are there too, Graham. Again, it's Wanging On, and we're on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, whatever your social media platform of choice.
There really is no escaping us. Maria, time to rip open an envelope. Oh, she's got it in her hand.
I've got them in the wrong place. I'm all of a bother now.
Number one.
Okay, number one. Dear Graham and Maria, your conversations are very much looked forward to every Monday.
Kiss ass.
I just tear this up now.
Yeah. Stupid letter.
After listening to so much helpful advice from you, I would really appreciate your help with this dilemma of my own. Okay. I'm a market trader selling jarred condiments. It's been 3 years and I'm lucky enough to have cultivated a small following for my range. A few customers have been really supportive since the very beginning, and I've got to know them a bit better every time I see them. Most customers are aware of the reason I'm at the market, so they keep the conversation short and make space for the next customer. However, there is this one customer who likes sharing great details of her various medical conditions. It's really hard to terminate or pause the conversation, as sometimes she'll be distressed when telling me her story. As a one-person band, I must make sure I pay attention to everyone who is interested in tasting or purchasing my product. But I feel rude and guilty if I don't focus on this lady's stories, which sometimes can feel like a trilogy. What is the best way to manage this? And that is from Kiki. I feel your pain, Kiki, because having worked in retail for a little bit...
And you thought you'd enjoy it.
When I thought I'd enjoy it. Yes, it was for a charity, for a homeless charity, and we had this shop. People just come into shops and they take their little rucksack of problems off and they pass it over to you.
Yeah.
And I worked with another girl and I would just sort of see these certain people coming and I would just go, I've got to go out the back now and leave her to deal with it while I stared at a wall out the back. Because you don't want to have to take on all of this stuff. It's kind of, it weighs you down.
But I mean, I suppose what the people have figured out is you're a sitting duck.
Yeah.
And you can't, Kiki can't just walk off. She can't, there isn't even a storeroom to go to.
No.
She's behind a stall. That's it. I think what you should do, Kiki, is kind of go, I really want to hear this, but I can't concentrate right now because I'm having to serve other people. Do you want to have a cup of tea later on?
Yeah, I don't think you should encourage it, really.
Well, no, but you're feeling guilty. I bet you this woman will not want to have the cup of tea.
No, I don't think
because
so.
she wants instant gratification.
She's got to get home to watch Homes Under the Hammer.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
That
really
person
does.
is me.
She knows what she's doing in
But
the
also,
afternoon.
Kiki, I would say always be busy, have things that you've got to do behind your stall.
Well, she does. And you've got to serve other people. And I think it is easy, or at least it's possible, Kiki, to just say, I hate to cut you off in full flow, or I really don't mean to be rude, but I've got to sell some pickle to that person. Isn't it pickle? Relish?
Yeah, condiments.
Maybe relish.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's delicious and
Very
homemade.
busy in my condiment world, lady, with lots of medical problems.
Oh, do you think it's called Kiki's Condiments, and condiments spelled with a K?
I hope so. I hope so. Well,
KKK? Oh, no.
no.
Oh, no. No.
That's
No,
not good.
Kiki.
Getting back to the person, it's really kind of, and I'm sure the person who's telling you all this thinks that you're interested. That is the problem. And certainly that's what I found. People would think that they're telling you something that interests you. And
Yes.
actually, it's just offloading. This person is probably quite lonely and doesn't have anyone else to bore with her medical dilemmas. But there has to be a way where you can be kind, but also cut her off with a K.
And but also, isn't it that weird thing how we are nostalgic? People are, it used to be great. You used to make conversation in the shop and da-da-da. And then when you go to a market and you're buying each thing in each different stall and da-da-da, one, it takes forever to do your shopping. Two, you've got to carry it because there ain't no trolley. And three, yes, you've got to talk to people. It's hell. You can see why they invented the supermarket. Meanwhile,
and online.
Kiki's Condiments, I'm sure, are delicious. I would make an exception for them, obviously.
I'm quite liking your rage, your bubbling rage
Well, no,
about
it's
this.
not that, but I just think it's a faux nostalgia for what it was like to do shopping
What,
in the
like a
past.
farmer's market?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Where, because that's how, when my mom was shopping when I was a kid, we would have to go from shop to shop to get everything. And you'd be left carrying something. And my mom would be like a kind of pack mule carrying, going home with all the shopping. Don't be nostalgic for that. Meanwhile, this is the reality is that Kiki's stuck there with this woman, wanging on.
I think, wanging on. I think, Kiki, you have to have things, even if you haven't got a customer there, you've got to close this down. So you have to have things on the store like, labeling or checking something. You just have to be able to say, I'd love to speak to you, person's name, but I'm really up against it today. Something. And if you do that every time, then soon enough she'll get the message.
I don't know. Kiki's there again with her condiments. And also, it's like feeding a stray dog.
Yeah, they'll always want more.
Kiki has listened to her once. Therefore, she will come back.
What about if she says, get person's name, I can't talk at the moment, but why not come back at the end of the day?
That's what I said.
I know, you said go for a cup of tea.
Well, that's the end of the day.
Okay, but I wouldn't suggest a cup of tea because you'll never get away.
But what's happening at the end of the day now?
You're packing up. When I'm packing
Come and
up,
help me carry boxes. I know you're ill. It'll be good exercise for you.
What about wearing headphones and pretending you're on the phone and just be talking to some pretend person?
That's good.
Yeah? You like that?
We can ship to Shanghai. Yes. All the relish you'd like. Gentlemen's and otherwise.
Shall I see?
Oh, yes. The Wangers surely have wanged in.
Yes, they have wanged in indeed. Oh, we've got Anne in Northern Ireland who says, I've given this a lot of thought.
Have you? That makes one of us.
Here are some ideas. People who like to complain often aren't interested in other people's woes. So you could get in there first, make stuff up about how terrible life is. Oh no, don't want to do this. How terrible life is, and maybe she'll just get bored. You could bring some jars to label or something to do that keeps you distracted and say, excuse me, but I'm really busy this morning and I won't have time to talk. Or you could set an alarm on your phone and when it rings, pretend to get a very serious phone call and wave the person away. I like that. I like the idea of going,
Yeah. Get you. Yes. In fact, yes. You could say, I'm just getting my test results back, and then start crying.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
If you want some acting tips, don't come to us. Stephen in Glasgow says, you need to hang a sign on the market stall. Mustard, not medical advice. Relish, the fact I'm not a doctor. Loving this. Soy sauce, no sob stories.
Stephen is typing this wearing an apron.
I love Stephen in Glasgow. This should sort it out. I predict your niche impersonal touch will make you stand out. You'll be on Dragon's Den in no time and make millions. So you can eventually go global and become an impersonal, huge conglomerate who never has to speak to customers again. Oh, got a bit bitter at the end there, Stephen in Glasgow, didn't he?
No, but I think he's on the right track.
Yeah.
I think you need to expand the business so you're no longer standing behind a stall.
I do like mustard, not medical advice. Relish, the fact I'm not a doctor. And soy sauce, no sob stories.
Yeah, no, good for
And then when she comes, you can just point to the sign going,
Or
read.
you.
Can you read? No, not since I've had the cataracts.
I glaucoma. John,
We are those old people.
John in Woolwich has sent us a voice note.
Stop being a people pleaser. You're trying to run a business. If you want to be nice to the person, ask them to stand aside and say you can carry on the conversation when you've dealt with other customers who are waiting.
Oh, that was it.
John sounded quite out of breath there. What do you think he was doing?
Wanking.
Oh, I didn't want you to go there. But no, you did.
No, I feel like he is the man to give that, because he is a man of few words. He didn't waste his time chatting to us. He kind of came in, gave me advice, out.
He's very busy.
He's very busy. You can't keep someone, you can't just say, stand there while I'm serving
You
other
can't say
people.
stand aside.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
what people
think you
used
can.
to say in the olden days. Stand aside, sir.
You there with the illness. If you can stand there.
Gail says, I work in sales and I totally understand how you feel. You could be the only kind person in this person's life. I try to be honest and explain that I can't always chat. I normally say something like, without sales, I would be at the job centre. Do you really want that?
Wow. Whatever I thought she was going to say, it wasn't that.
And then, no, she says that, do you really want that? And then I give them a smile and a laugh.
And then they walk away going, she's mental.
Yeah.
Mental.
This person probably doesn't even realise what they're doing and would feel awful if they knew. Be honest. No, don't be honest.
And also they won't feel awful if they knew.
No,
they know.
Yeah.
They already know that they're boring.
That people walk away mid-conversation.
Yeah, so you have to find somebody who's trapped behind a stall.
Oh, I don't know what to, I mean, I now I want some of your relish, Kiki, basically.
Oh, yes, do send in your relish. Kiki, listen, we really feel for you with this dilemma. Thank you very much for sharing it with us. And we hope there's been some slightly useful advice from either us or the Wangers. Let's get some more thoughts in the comment section underneath this episode, please. How does Kiki deal with this customer? Meanwhile, we will be back with another dilemma in a jiffy. This episode is sponsored by TV licensing, and I couldn't be more excited about The Neighbourhood on ITV.
Why is that?
Because I host it.
Oh.
I did it.
Can you tell us anything?
Of course I can.
What?
You know, it's 6 households in the most beautiful part of the world that I'd ever been to before.
Are they all rich?
Derbyshire. No, but one of them's going to be.
Oh.
Because last household remaining, they walk away with £250,000. And it's just about, how to get on with your neighbours. And in the end, kind of the most popular household wins. And there was something about it. It was just really kind of, I don't know, just lovely. And I love spending the time, because I was up there for nearly a month. And I was thinking, oh, really?
Where is it again? Where's it filmed?
Derbyshire.
Derbyshire, lovely.
The Peak District. Is that in Derbyshire?
Yeah, is that the truth? Because I like watching Would I Lie to You?
You like Would I Lie to You, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're mad about it.
Well, I think I would be quite good at it. And I think I'd be quite good at a traitor as well.
Okay, getting it all out there.
Anyone listening?
Now available for both Would I Lie to You and Traitor.
Yes.
Well, luckily, a TV license covers you to watch over 400 TV channels and everything on BBC iPlayer. To find out more, go to tvl.co.uk/pod.
High five.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marie McCurlin has another letter in her hand, I see.
I'm still thinking about Kiki's condiments, spelt with a K.
Don't spell it with a K.
Why?
Because it looks very bad on the label.
Only if there's another K. Kiki's kinky condiments.
Well, because there's 2 Ks in Kiki.
Oh, yes, there is.
Yes. That'll keep unwanted customers away.
We really should be in marketing, shouldn't we?
Yeah. I've come up with a label. There's something about it that doesn't quite work.
Anyway, next letter.
Yeah.
Dear Graham and Maria, any advice on what to do about envy and worries about not becoming a parent? Every single close friend I have has found a partner, had a baby, or is trying for one. I, on the other hand, am still single with no boyfriend in sight. I'm 32 and my mum couldn't get pregnant after 28. So I'm quite worried about my biological clock and that it will stop soon, if not already. My friends are great, but I don't feel I can say to them, I envy you, or I'm worried I'll never be a mum. I don't want to be pitied or a self-centered annoyance. Sometimes I try to list for myself the other things I've achieved. I've lived in 4 different countries, my career is going well, I got a mortgage on my own without the extra income of a partner, but that doesn't really work. If it wasn't for the known fertility issues in my family and the fact that so much of my friendship circle is focused on baby production at the moment, maybe I wouldn't be so stressed about this. Any advice on how to deal with worry about where life is going and how to avoid being a whiny, envious friend? And that is from Sophie. Sophie, I feel your pain. I think these things are, once you let them in, Graham, once you let those kind of anxieties in, they are going to plague you. And it'll just kind of grow. I think one thing you could do, Sophie, I know you're worried about your mum. There's no real reason why you should have inherited that, not being able to get pregnant again after 28. But go and have a fertility check.
Yes.
Because you can then get told how your eggs are doing and, where you are on the soon-to-be menopause or not menopause. So that might, it's a two-way street, that might give you some comfort or it might make you even more anxious. So it's one of those things, do you want to know or do you not want to know? Personally, I think I would want to know.
I think she definitely wants to know.
Yeah.
Because actually, if the ship has sailed already, which is I think what she's worried about, then this whole problem becomes very different.
Yeah.
Because then it's about, reconciling yourself with something that is now out of your control.
Yeah.
I think where she is now is a kind of a harder thing to navigate in a way, because it's possibly still possible, but she's not in the right situation.
It's twofold here as well, I think, Sophie, because you're thinking, I haven't got a partner and I'm not pregnant yet and I'm 32, and you're sort of racing against yourself. And I think one of the things you could do, which you have sort of done, is be grateful for the things you have.
Yeah.
And you have done extremely well, and you've got your own house and you've got a good career. And listen, everything is still possible because you can have a baby on your own.
I mean, look, I think there's a few things going on, aren't there? So, Sophie, one of the things we often say on the pod is, enjoy the life you are living rather than mourning a life you don't live, because it's such a waste of energy and
it eats you up.
Yeah, suddenly every day is miserable because of something you don't have. Where you have tried to do the thing of enjoying the life you are living, I think try harder with that. And then the other thing, as you were saying, is have a baby if you can have a baby. You can do this by yourself. And I've had friends who did that.
I've got lots of friends that did that on their own.
Who really wanted a kid, saw that the partner route thing was not happening, and they got donors and they went ahead and did it. Now, is that harder? Maybe it is.
Yes, it is harder.
You need to know that you've got the support system around you, that your parents will help, or you've got, or your friends who have kids will help. At least, actually, she is in a friend group where everyone has babies. So there's that.
That's kind of reflecting back at her all the time.
But also, I think, in a way, that will focus your mind, Sophie, because if you say to yourself, I can do this by myself, then you have to decide, is the baby the thing I actually want? Or is it the whole package? I want a partner, a dog, a baby, a back garden and a swing.
I want my life to be perfect how I imagined it would be, but that might not be a perfection for you, because where does the career go then that you're doing well at?
I mean, I have a friend, and he is, a little bit younger than me, but not a lot. And he's been single basically his whole life. And he has a thing, about being single. And he goes, it's not the life I imagined for myself, but it is the life I am living. And I think that's a very good way to look at it. At some point, your projection of what your life is going to be, you have to go, turns out I didn't go down that road. I went down this road.
It's like playing the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.
Rather than wishing you had a full house, or whatever, if I can extend that metaphor.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You need to shuffle again. That's what you need to do. I just think it's a particularly female problem where you have this...
Well, it's age kind of sensitive.
There's a time limit on an option, and I think one of the things you want to do going through life is keep as many doors open as possible, have as many choices as you can. And for women, it's so hard because at some point, a big door slams shut. And that doesn't happen for men. You see those terrible old,
Mick Jagger.
Those lovely old men.
Robert De Niro. Al Pacino.
Anyway, them men. They're still having babies. But that isn't the world. But Sophie, it's not a done deal yet. But the minute it is a done deal, that's when you have to make your peace with it. And whether that's seeking professional help.
I think professional help is going to be very good, even to if you do the medical thing of finding out, I would be able to I would get a therapist so you can talk about it to them.
Because there will be
be
a sense of loss. Because...
or not.
Well, I think for Sophie, there will be a sense of loss because it's something that she saw in her future, and there will be a baby-shaped hole in her life from that moment on.
But hey, it's not over yet. You're only 32, Sophia.
Yeah.
I know, I sound like an old witch, but there's still a bit of time left.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sure the Wangers have been in touch with about this problem.
Ben in Spain says, as a 37-year-old cat dad, I'm maybe not the best to give advice on this, but have you thought about going solo? Sounds like you've got yourself well established on your own, so what about finding a friend who can donate their sperm, or even looking at going down the adoption route, or just get a cat? Thank you, Ben, in Spain.
Yeah.
She'll be in touch about your sperm.
I'm so surprised we didn't go down the pet route ourselves.
We normally do.
Yeah, normally.
I think both of us
Normally
are
she'd have a litter of puppies by now. But for some reason, it didn't cross our minds. It was like we took our problems so seriously.
all in baby hats. Okay. Eileen, is that an Irish name?
No, I think it is. I don't know.
I'm going to say that about every name I don't know.
Any name you can't pronounce. Is that an Irish name?
Eileen says, as someone decades older than you who never had children, I can tell you it's not imperative that you have children to have a happy life. If you feel you definitely want to be a mother, you have many options. Adoption, freezing your eggs to use later, hiring a surrogate, or the traditional method. But there is no need to feel envious of your friends. They are currently experiencing sleep deprivation and many other negatives that go along with having young children. There are certainly times when they're blissfully happy as well, but it's not all sunshine and flowers. Do not compare yourself to others, forge your own path, and if you find you feel motherhood is definitely for you, you can start exploring your options. I mean, that is true, but I think when you're feeling the way Sophie is, that just is falling on deaf ears, isn't it?
Well, even if all her friends said to her, we really regret having children, we hate them, she'll still want one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kristen, a lot of people have responded to this. Kristen from Mexico City says, I'm 31 and single, so I really felt this one. First, I don't think you're being whiny at all. You're being honest. It's completely normal to feel a bit of envy when everyone around you is on a different timeline. From a practical side, I would suggest getting proper medical advice now. Good. Just to understand where you stand and feel more in control. And if motherhood is something you really want, you could look into freezing your eggs. So it becomes a choice, not a race against the clock. Emotionally, I think it's okay to admit quietly to yourself, I want that too. That doesn't take away from your achievements. It just means you're human. Life isn't a group project. Everyone submits at different deadlines. Don't know what that means.
Oh, I like that idea.
What does it mean?
Well, it just means that it's not a group project. We're all working together.
Yeah.
You know, just because you've made those life choices doesn't mean I'm making those life choices. I think that's good.
Everyone submits at different deadlines.
Yeah.
I understand that now.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Deb says, this is a very heartfelt dilemma, and I just wanted to give you, the writer, a hug. You're not self-centered or whiny to share your envy, fear, or sadness with your friends in appropriate ways at appropriate times. Maybe over coffee. Continue to enjoy the life you have built for yourself and keep focusing on the good things you have. Plus, enjoy the little people you have around you. That is really good advice, Deb. And I think, there's so much joy to be had in other people's children. I hate to say this, but it's true. Other people's children who you can then play with, teach some naughty words, and then go back.
Yeah.
Teach them how to blow a raspberry.
I wonder what you were going to say there. Sophie, I think you can tell from the huge response we've had to your problem that it's a very relatable dilemma. Thank you so much for getting in touch. Sophie, of course, emailed us wangingon@listen.co.uk, and that's the email address you should use if you want to get in touch. It's also the email address people use if they want to ask the question, am I weird?
Am I weird?
Who's asking that today?
What do we think of that now?
I love it. It's my ringtone.
I really feel it should be so loud that it makes people's ears bleed.
It's the new jingle. His name's Luke and he's from Wicklow.
Yeah, we like Luke though.
He's got a little Irish accent in the Laurie Anderson of it all.
Am I weird? Okay, so this week's Am I Weird comes from Louisa in Cardiff, who says, Hi Graham and Maria. I've not ever talked about this, but I think it may meet the Am I Weird threshold.
Okay, great.
I have quite an active imagination. Whenever I meet someone new, I often visualise them in a different era in history, such as World War I or Dickensian times.
Cardiff, you say? Keep going. Louisa's not even at the heart of her weirdness yet.
Dickensian times. I see their face and body in a totally different context, minus tattoos, piercings and makeup, etc. And I'm transported briefly back to another time. They are wearing the clothing of that era and sometimes even carrying tools of their trade, like an anvil or a milking bucket.
They're strong.
I'm not...
An anvil?
An anvil.
One of those portable anvils.
Yeah, no one ever carried an anvil. I'm not sure why
She's got a great imagination.
Well, I'm not sure why I do this or what purpose it serves, and it's often a fleeting image. I find it quite reassuring, a feeling that there is order in the world, that generations of people have survived against the odds. Am I weird? I mean, now you've said that last bit, it's good to remember that we're not the only people that have ever been around. I mean, and I don't think you are weird, but I think, as Graham said, you have a really vivid imagination, and I think I might ask you to put that to good use somehow, to write about these people. I mean, whenever I meet anyone new, I like to picture them naked.
Yes, you do.
Is that so wrong?
Then you live in Hastings.
I don't really like to picture them naked at all.
I don't do this, but I can
Yes,
see
you
that
do.
There is a kind of romance to it.
Yeah.
That everyone you meet, you have a little flash. And maybe Louisa is some sort of spiritualist. Maybe she's getting messages from beyond the grave.
No, don't go down that route.
No?
That's that way madness lies.
Okay, perhaps myself and Louisa should go shopping at Kiki's Condiments. She'll listen to us.
Kiki's kinky condiments. I think it's actually a sweet thing, and what you're doing is trying to kind of make sense and order in a crazy world, and we live in a crazy world, and there were different times and maybe more innocent times when people carried anvils around or buckets of milk.
Yeah, and also, do you know what I do like when you see an old building, or like I used to live in a house that was built in 1811, and sometimes I'd be in there reading a book, like a classic, like a Charles Dickens or something.
Pretentious much?
Well, you can read Charles Dickens without being pretentious.
I'm in a very old building. I will read the classics.
Well, no, that isn't what was going on. But
okay.
I just really, and you sit in the house reading the book, and you think, I'm not the first person to have read this book in this house.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like the kind of the continuity of life.
I know. I mean, we are very egocentric beings, and we kind of like to think that the world revolves entirely around us. The House Through Time is marvellous for that feeling. I would suggest that you watch that, Louisa.
She'll love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louisa in Cardiff, because they do mock-ups of a house. So they have the modern people in the houses now with their little computers, and then they do a mock-up of 1900 or post-war.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
You know where she could go?
Yeah.
Orkney. Everything's 5,000 years old. She'll have a field day. She'll love it there. No, seriously. Your little everything's a little stone thing.
I really don't think you're weird at all, Louisa, but I think I would write all these things down. When you see somebody that you think had an interesting job in the olden days, or, maybe they're a soul that has been reborn in your mind, write it all down. Put this imagination to use.
Yes. And maybe do some research and realise that anvils aren't light. Just saying. If you want to hit on your hands. Mind you, they could be a very strong blacksmith. He could be he could be famous because he's so strong.
Maybe instead of carrying the anvil, carry some horseshoes.
Or indeed an entire shire horse.
Under your arm.
No, around his shoulders like that.
I do like the idea of a milkmaid, though, with one of those things.
Oh, yes.
A yoke with a bucket on either end.
Oh, that old yoke. Hey, that am I weird? Oh, what are we saying? Not weird.
Well, I know, but I feel we have to do some weirds.
All right, you're weird. It's like we don't care.
I don't think you are weird. But for the purposes of this this particular segment, let's go weird.
All right.
Send us your stories, though, Louisa.
Louisa's Am I Weird brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you very much to Louisa for getting in touch, and indeed everyone who's written in with dilemmas or advice.
Yep. Thank you to everyone for writing in. And remember, we're not experts. That's what you need to remember. And if you need proper advice, you should seek it out from an expert. And that's not us. On our Instagram, you can find a link to support services. We are at Wanging On.
And we're back next week. Wanging On with Graham and Maria is a Listen production. Goodbye.